Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back for the next scenario of The Edge of the Earth. I'm really excited for this. I've been thinking about this all day. I really liked how that first scenario went. It sounds like it's going to be really cool where we're going to get to use a lot of the first scenario kind of over again, but with a twist to it. Where we left off, uh, James Cookie Fredericks bit it during the plane crash. This fellow right here. And Dr. Amy Kensler, who helped us get a couple of clues and discard a couple cards from the encounter deck, snuck off after we made camp. Seemingly no explanation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through my deck upgrades for Stella and Amanda first. Because they're pretty straightforward, I think. I'm also going to show off, because there's nothing saying you can't do it after the scenario's ended, I'm just going to look at what Tekelili weaknesses she got for Stella. So she got one that's take a damage and then put this on the bottom of the deck. She got two of that, and one that's lose two resources and then put this on the bottom of the deck. So she does have 2 damage in her deck and a -2 resources in her deck. So that's good to know that they're in there. So those are definitely getting shuffled in. I'll just adjust my stream around a little bit to make sure I can see everything. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So those are in there. The upgrades that I chose for these investigators were for Stella Clark, maybe a bit obviously a quick learner, because quick learner is just nuts with her. That's kind of her whole thing to me. I cannot really imagine building a deck of hers without grabbing it early and without it at all, really. And then a single Granny Orn, and she's dropping a Mysterious Raven for that. The Ravens are about picking up clues for free, but Granny is more about not failing a willpower test as often, not failing intellect tests as often, getting more clues in that capacity, but also that little mini lucky is just really good. It's just a really good effect. Pretty happy to have gotten 7. That's pretty good cards to be adding to the deck. Granny's just really solid. Big soak, nice stat boosts. When you get up to like a 4-3-3-4, I guess a 4-3-3-5 when you get your track shoes out as well, you start feeling pretty secure. And so that's Stella. And then for Amanda, what I did, I only spent 6 of the experience, and I'll go over why in a moment. But what I did was I dropped probably what are the worst 2 cards in the deck, which is the Grizzly Totem and the Dream Diary for the upgraded versions. That's it. The upgraded Grizzly Totem is such a massive upgrade for this deck. Getting that extra draw is huge, and I don't know. It's just a really good upgrade. I love this card. The other thing that's cool about it is that I can hand Stella some draws as well. And then the Dream Diary, the Dreams of a Child. If you have at least 8 cards in hand, it gets an extra 2 wild icons. And then when your dream begins, you search your bonded cards for the essence of the dream instead of needing to spend an action. And that's a massive upgrade as well because I think it was shown a bit last scenario that Amanda does have some trouble with actions. It's a little tricky for her. She can be... Oh, I left a window open that's sending me notifications. So let's just close that. There we go. There we go. I just want to close as much stuff as possible so that I'm not struggling or anything like that with... Okay, I think that's everything I needed to get rid of. Yeah. And I did just want to... Anyways, so I kind of forget where I kind of trailed off there, but Amanda has 1 XP on the board. I considered picking up a Pathfinder, but I'm playing Taboo, so I forgot that you can't. And then I considered picking up actually the hiking boots. And then when I thought about what to drop for it, I didn't want to drop any of my cards that I have duplicates of to avoid losing Dream Enhancing Serum triggers. And I guess the obvious one would have been to drop like one shortcut. And an asset that gives you like a bunch of moves that you don't have to go find and draw, like, is that really worth not doing DES? Not getting your DES trigger on shortcuts once in a while? Probably. Like, it's probably worth it. But I think that I'm just going to go ahead and save that XP because I might be able to put it into something a little more suited to this scenario. There's a lot of locations that are all going to start revealed, as I understand it, based on what I read about the checkpoints. And what I wrote in my campaign log. So I think that shortcuts are getting me more moves. The hiking boots are going to get me like to a location with clues, but they're not going to get me back to base camp if I have to go resign at the end of the scenario. So I think that the shortcuts are kind of roughly equivalent, and then I can save that XP for whatever I need more. So that's what I've got for the 2 decks. A Grizzly Totem Dream Diary, and a Quick Learner, and Granny Orn. So we'll just shuffle that stuff a little more, and we'll get right into Ice and Death Part 2, which I've got mostly set up here. How's my camera look? Yeah, that's plenty of room. You can see everything on the board, I think. I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So, Ice and Death Part 2. Your team scrambles in preparation to search for those who went missing in the night. You hate the idea of venturing back out into the freezing cold so soon after taking refuge, but you have no choice if you are to find your companions. Add 1 frost token to the chaos bag. Ba-boom, ba-boom. And I'll just kind of dump this out as a general reminder of what we've got. We've got 2 frost now, so you can trigger that auto-fail chain reaction. I've got 2 cultists from that choice at the start that gave me an extra cultist. Read each passage below that corresponds to the characters who are not missing. Then proceed to setup. If Dr. Amy Kensler is alive and not missing, well, she is missing, so we're not reading that. And then in addition, if Dr. Malasinha is missing, so presumably I don't read this because Dr. Kensler is missing. If Professor William Dyer is alive and not missing, this is Professor Lake's team all over again, Dyer grumbles. When we first lost contact with them, we assumed it was the weather, but his gaze, cold and dead, meets yours. We know better now, don't we? At least, I thought we did. If Professor William Dyer is chosen to accompany an investigator of his game, he enters play with 1 additional secret. Well, let's pull him out and remind ourselves of what he does. He has 3 secrets. With an action, spend a secret to heal 2 horror from an investigator or another ally asset at your location. Okay, so this might be a horror-heavy scenario, but we'll see. And then it says, in addition, if Danforth is missing, but he's not missing. It's just Dr. Kensler, so nothing there. If Avery Claypool is alive and not missing, okay, we're probably going to just go grab Claypool now before I read this. Who's the other one? Cookie Fredericks. Okay, well, he's toast. Claypool takes inventory of your remaining supplies, shaking his head as he counts. Nothing's missing, he confesses in disbelief. They took nothing with them. Nobody saw them leave, and there's no evidence they were taken. It makes no sense. You ask Claypool how long one could survive out there without supplies. In this weather? And with those things still out there? His knowing eyes flee from yours. They won't survive the night. If Avery Claypool is chosen to accompany an investigator of his game, he enters play with 1 additional supply. And he has the ability, when an investigator at your location reveals a frost token during a skill test, exhaust him and spend a supply to cancel that token and reveal a new one. I'm very tempted to take him, because I expect that that'll be pretty strong now that I have 2 in the bag. And Roald Ellsworth is not missing, so I do not read the next bit. So those are my guys. And I do have, so these guys will be starting with 1 additional, and I do have all these as options. So one thing that I would consider from last time is Danforth is the one where when you draw, after an investigator at your location resolves the Tekelili weakness, you exhaust him, spend a secret, and they draw 2 cards. And Stella has 3 in her deck already. So I'm thinking that he might be a good pick for Stella. And then I can grab Avery Claypool on Amanda, and that might leave me feeling pretty safe, is what I'm thinking. Ellsworth was really nice last scenario. Choosing treacheries attached to locations and treating them blank. That was really good for that card that makes you discard your whole hand. So it's really tempting to take him again. But I think I'm going to put Danforth in front of Stella. And I'm going to put Avery in front of Amanda. So we got 5 uses secrets on Danforth. Where's he on the board? Right there. That's the last thing you can see. Okay. And then we get 1 additional use on Avery. For 6 total. 6 Frost token cancels. That is not bad. Okay, we'll just, what we'll do is we'll put all these guys back up here and we'll put Kensler on top. Because she's missing. There we go. Okay. Each investigator's base starting resources is equal to the shelter value of the camp instead of 5. Oh, sweet. So we actually have 7 resources at the start of the game, too. Wow, this is a lot of resources that I need to get out all at once. Wow, that's a lot. Holy shit. So let's shove this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to run out of resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the Stella. Okay. Each investigator may choose one available member. Yeah, sure. Scenario setup from checkpoint. Use this setup if you're continuing directly after playing part 1. I'm not. I did clean up fully. So we go ahead to this one scenario setup from scratch. Use this setup text if you're setting up part 2 after taking a break. Now I did already kind of peruse this because I didn't want to take as long to set up as last time. But I figured I'd leave the setup available in the video so you can kind of follow along if that's what's going on. So you're gathering all the cards from the following encounter sets. They're pictured there. We've still got this basic set, which is the Ice and Death set, which comes with this set. We've got Ancient Evils is at the end. Through the Ice, that one of those hazard ones. The Polar Mirage, that's the other hazard one. And Terror one. We've got a new one here, which is this little pickaxe. Abandoned to Madness and a bunch of Lost Researchers. We've got the Polar Vortex stuff, which is a bunch of hazards. And then we've got the Tekelili deck. And we've got, last but not least, the new Act and Agendas decks, which is right here. So I'll go over those in a couple minutes. I'm going to make sure that this is at least on the... Okay, that's going to be completely illegible, but that's... whatever. There's not much I can do about that. And then there's also a whole bunch of story things that we had to get, and a bunch of possessed folks that we had to get. So you build the agenda deck using these new agendas, right? It's 4, 5, 6 for the agendas, and 2 for the act. In the Ice and Death section of the campaign log, find each location under revealed locations, put each of those locations into play revealed with clues equal to its clue value. So this is going to be the big one. I'll put Ice and Death. I'll put that right there as my reminder. I do need to set up all the locations, so I am going to go back to this to make sure I'm doing it correctly. And I did leave it mostly in the order of stuff that I had and didn't have. So this is like all the way out here. And then there's the crash site in the center, the precarious ice sheet above it, the treacherous path above it, the frozen shores below it. And this is where we start to get into trouble, right? That's down, that's down. The icy waste is right there. And I don't even think these are all showing up on the screen right now. Yeah, we're not even all showing up. Man, this map is really big. The Remnants of Lake Camp, that's where we're starting, I believe. Snowgraves, the Frigid Cave is one that we haven't seen yet, so I gotta put that out of play. And then the Broad Snowdrifts and the Snowgraves are down here, I believe. Right? Something like that. Which is just craziness. So these are, right, this exterior circle, this interior one, and then these guys on the outskirts. And then I need to get clues on all of these equal to their count. So that's got 6. It's got 2. That's got 4. That's got 4. And that's got 4. 2. And 2. And I believe that's all of that. So that's the location setup. Always so late, gonna have to watch the VOD. Yeah, well, this is about as early as I can possibly stream because I got the young kids, right? It's like 10 o'clock my time right now, where it's 10 to 10. So we put each location into play revealed with their put each other location into play unrevealed. Okay, so I think I do put this one, the Frigid Cave. Is that showing? Yeah, the Frigid Cave does go into play unrevealed. Okay, that's fine. Several members of the expedition go missing in the night. Find each possessed enemy in the Lost in the Night encounter set whose title matches one of the expedition team members marked MIA in your campaign log. Set each of these enemies aside face down. Remove the rest from the game. So I believe that is just Dr. Kensler. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, it's just Dr. Kensler. Find the story cards from the Lost in the Night encounter set and shuffle them. One at a time, add one of these cards face down to the previously set aside enemies until there are a total of exactly 9 enemy and story cards set aside in this way. Remove the unused story cards from the game. Okay, so I set aside Dr. Kensler, face down. I shuffle this deck of story cards, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 9 cards total. Shuffle these 9 set aside cards. Alright, I guess I could have counted that ahead of time. Place one face down beneath each of the 9 uncharted locations in play. Yeah, from Europe. Yeah, that makes sense. I know, it's inconvenient. It's a weird time zone too, because I'm also like really far ahead of Pacific time. Like it's like I said, it's like almost 10 here, but that means it's like 6 there. So they're just like what, finishing up supper maybe. So it can be weird. Anyways, these go randomly at each of the uncharted locations. So I'm just gonna have to go ahead and it's basically not the 4 middle ones. So I guess I'm on the look for Dr. Kensler, and it's gonna be a tricky road ahead of me. There is one at my location. So that's good. So there's that. Each investigator begins play at the camp. I guess I should have done my opening hand. I always do this to myself. Not doing my opening hands. So let's see what Stella gets first. And then it's just shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Shuffle the Tekelili weakness cards together. So we did shuffle them between this. Like this does instruct you to shuffle them. So the fact that the ones that I had been seeing went on the bottom, you don't have to worry about maintaining that deck order. That's kind of a nice bonus for you, is that you don't have to worry about that. So 5 cards for Stella. What she gets. Dark Horse, Waylay, Old Keyring, Rabbit's Foot, Manual Dexterity. Um, the Dark Horse might be nice early, but I kind of feel like I'm not so keen on it. Getting down, staying at no money is actually kind of tricky with this deck until you get the Mariner's Compass. So I'm happy to get rid of that. Um, I should double check what Amanda gets first though, because I can make that choice with a bit more knowledge. I've already shuffled this. I don't think I really need to shuffle that a whole lot more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also changed the sleeves because, as I mentioned in the last one, I only have a couple of spare black sleeves, and if I get a whole bunch of those Tekelili cards, I'd be screwed. Perception, Eureka, Deduction, Dream Enhancing Serum, and Laboratory Assistant. Hello? I don't think I can ditch any of this, can I? That's craziness. What a sick hand. Only problem is I kind of want to get set up with this Dream Enhancing Serum and Lava System. So maybe I ditch. Oh man, that's tricky. Because I can't really pass the. I mean, I can try the Investigates here. They're not that bad, but it'll be tricky for sure. Put Perception under her and just give him a go. That'll keep my hand size up. Yeah, I'll just keep that with her actually. So yeah, I am going to get rid of the Dark Horse, but I think I'm going to also get rid of their Waylay and keep a Manual Dexterity. In case an enemy pops out, Emergency Cache, and another Keyring. Okay, well we're just on the clue train and that's it. I'll have to spend a bit of time trying to get some more solutions out of my deck here. So, in terms of getting clues, I should go take a read of the Act and Agenda before I get going. Still have the same skull, tablet, and cultist symbols. Those are the same, fortunately. Oh, and I can kick my stand now without making it all fall over because I secured it a bit better. Not a whole lot better, but a bit better. Okay. So let's think. And let's read. The Lost Expedition. Well, it's always the agendas first, right? Several of your party have mysteriously vanished in the night without a sign of any struggle. You can only assume they left of their own accord. But why? 5 Doom. The Lost Expedition. You set out in search for the missing team members, hoping to find them before daybreak. Investigators at your location spend 2 clues as a group. Draw the encounter card beneath your location. If you're at camp, action resign. You turn in for the night. Objective, find as many missing expedition members as you can by adding them to the victory display, then head back to camp before daybreak. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. So we have to find her and get out. So we need to get 18 clues, plus the amount to get into the locations that we have not revealed yet, which is like 8, 16, 18, 22, 26. We need a lot of clues. So it's probably good that we drew all that clue tech right at the start. Before we do any other things, though, the investigation phase starts, and Amanda needs to put a card underneath her after drawing. She gets a medical student. Not super useful, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put the perception underneath her and see if I can't get a couple of successful investigates here on our starting location. So, I think we're going to go ahead and give Stella a go first, because she does have that rabbit's foot. So she's going to go ahead and play a rabbit's foot for 1. And then she's going to take an investigate, 2 against 2, which is probably going to fail, but you know, we're doing this to get cards and actions back, because the rabbit's foot is a godsend. An Elder Sign, okay. Well, we don't have any damage on us, so we may as well just take a clue. So we'll break that up. It is a +1, right, on her? Yeah, it is a +1 on her. So 1, 2, 1. And now she's on her 3rd action. She's just going to investigate again. 2 against 2 this time because it's she has -1 to the difficulty from Quick Learner. Occultist is a -2 if you fail. Shuffle the top card of the Tekelili deck card into your deck without looking at it. So we do get a Tekelili card without looking at it. But we do draw a card because of Rabbit's Foot, and we get another action. If you fail, so I draw the top card first. It is a Resourceful. And then I shuffle it. Finally, she's going to go ahead and play an old keyring, I think. No sense in doing much else, I don't think. Get our gear out. 1 for an old keyring. 2 uses. Okay, that's Stella. Let's not forget this. Goes back in the bag. Amanda is going to 1, 2, 3 play her Dream Enhancing Serum. Take and investigate with a perception. That puts her at 4 against 3. Let's. You know what? Actually, we're gonna second action play Lab Assistant for 2 cards. We draw a Eureka, which lets us trigger Dream Enhancing Serum for another Lab Assistant. And last action, we'll investigate with a Perception committed and a Eureka committed to be 5 against 3, which is 2 up. Do I want to get to the -3? I think the 2 up is fine. It's not great. Is there anything that we could commit over here? We don't have any survivor cards in the discard yet for that to be worthwhile. We can cancel Frost tokens with Avery, and I guess I kind of want to do that a little aggressively, right? I've got 6 uses of it, I may as well cancel them. -1. Sweet. So we get to draw a card with Perception, which is an Overpower, and then we get to look at the top 3 cards of the deck with Eureka. 1, 2, 3. Vicious Blow, Knife, Vicious Blow. Let's take the knife. Get that into play next turn, and then we'll be set up a little bit better for fighting. Because we do need to deal with enemies, I imagine. It would suck to not have a way to deal with enemies. Okay. And that's our turns. She's got a massive hand size because of the Lab Assistant right now, so no worries there. Ready. 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 So we get a resource and a card on Amanda, which is Obscure Studies. Cool. Kind of hoping that she gets a skill test this Mythos phase. The only thing I haven't done is actually set up the Mythos deck yet. She gets a Fight or Flight on Stella. It's over here, I just forgot to shuffle it. So, we'll take a second to shuffle. Doesn't hurt. And I did sort it, unfortunately, so I do need to shuffle it a little thoroughly because of how the penny sleeves are. They clump up a little tiny bit. Not too crazy, but a little bit. It's all fresh sleeves, so at least they don't they're not sticking or anything like that. 1 Doom on the agenda. Only 2 clues this turn, not great. We do have a deduction in hand. We've got old key rings to burn up. We'll get through it. Okay, so Amanda. Dark Aurora, test 3 willpower. For each Frost token revealed during this test, take a horror. If you fail, take 2 horror. Okay, so that's pretty much exactly what I wanted to happen. We're going to use the Obscure Studies to shove this underneath and take the perception back. And then we're going to be testing 5 against 3, and we'll use a Eureka to be 6 against 3. And I can cancel Frost tokens yet again to get rid of that extra horror. It's not that big of a deal to pass. I just like to use the Eureka here to get a bit more draw acceleration, get some things out that I need. A -3, so I succeed. And so I'm looking at the top 3 cards of my deck. Unexpected Courage, Promise of Power, and Crack the Case. Let's grab... Ooh, okay. I guess I'm just getting the knife out is all I've really got to play right now. So the Crack the Case, not too crazy. Let's get the Unexpected Courage into hand. I don't mind not having a Promise of Power right now. Not that big of a deal. And then for Stella, okay, another Dark Aurora. Yeah, see, this is the problem. But I don't mind her getting some horror. It's not that big of a deal. Don't have any commits for it. Getting some horror gets her fight or flight active, so that's fine. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. So we do take 2 horror. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. When does that trigger? Discard each weakness. Presumably that's an if you fail thing. But anyways, I take 2 horror. I do fail, so I get the Rabbit's Foot draw first, which is Track Shoes. That's really nice. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw each weakness discarded by this effect. A Tekelili, a Resourceful, and a Meat Cleaver. So we draw the Tekelili, taking a damage, and then shoving that back underneath its deck. And then we will trigger Danforth to draw 2 cards. A Waylay and another Track Shoes. Alright. That was actually a perfectly fine thing to have happened. Not feeling great about that shuffle, but I'll take that damage for that much card acceleration. That was great. Okay. So we've also got 4 actions on Stella right now, which is also quite good. So let's go ahead and do Amanda's turn. She has to take a draw, and then she has to use Obscure Studies. She gets a Practice Makes Perfect. Let's put the Perception under her, I want to say. Yeah, let's put the Perception under her. And Obscure Studies gets the Kibosh. Ah! I'm losing tokens. Where did I drop? A resource. Okay. And yeah, we'll go ahead with her first, I think. I think that's fine. So she's going to investigate. She's going to be 4 with that. And then she's going to, well, I guess 2, but she's going to use a Practice Makes Perfect. Top 9 cards of the deck. 6, 7, 8, 9 for practiced card. Is that a miss? That is a miss. Can't commit the Vicious Blow. Not a big deal. Like I said, we've got resources. Bit of a shame it missed, but, you know. Not the worst thing that could happen. So we're with the Perception 4. Let's commit the Lab Assistant and a Deduction, I think. Is that what I want to do? No, we'll just commit the Lab Assistant. That'll put us 5 against 3. Could commit the Resourceful with Stella to get that Meat Cleaver back and just spend a turn playing a bunch of stuff. resourceful as well. 3 up. There's the 3. So we get 1 card from Amanda, a medical student, which is going to trigger Dream Enhancing Serum. 4 of the Grizzly Totem. Perfect. Toss that back in the bag. Grab the clue off the location. And then a Resourceful is grabbing the Meat Cleaver back to Stella's hand. That's action 1. Action 2, we're going to... I guess my question for myself is, do I play this? Do I get a resource and play this Grizzly Totem, or do I do a little more progress? I think I want to... I'll have the Meat Cleaver on Stella, so getting a knife out isn't the most critical thing ever. Investigating only 1 up, though, is pretty uninspiring. So I'm going to take a resource, and then I'm going to spend 3 for the Grizzly Totem. Yeah. Okay. And that's Amanda. So, Stella, we're going to spend 3 for the track shoes. We're going to spend 3 for the Meat Cleaver. So we're pretty set up on her. Those are not showing up on the screen, but that's okay. That's about as good as I can do, I think, at this point. I do have 2 actions remaining because I failed that Mythos Phase test. So we're going to investigate here. I do have another keyring in hand. So we're going to investigate here a Zero Shroud with the keyring. So that'll be 1 for Zero Shroud. Just want to get a couple more clues. Grab them before I start getting those pull or whatever the things. So that's 1 for 1. And then the next keyring charge, again, testing against a 0 difficulty, is a -4, but that's successful. My keyring breaks. To shove some things over. Let me get another clue. Okay, so we're getting good progress off of the remnants of Lake's camp. That's the end of the turn. That's my 4 actions. So we ready up. Draw a card and gain a resource. It's a Crack the Case. That's good to see. We don't have one currently. But Crack the Case is perfect because we're definitely going to be triggering that next turn. It'd be really tough to imagine not getting a clue. Another Rabbit's Foot and a resource. Don't need that, but that's okay. Alright, that's that. A Doom, and counter card for Amanda, an Ancient Evils. Counter card for Stella, Through the Ice, nearest location without a copy of Through the Ice. There's an additional cost for you to enter or leave the attached location except by a scenario effect. Test 2 agility. If you fail, cancel the effects of the move, take a damage to horror, and discard Through the Ice. So that's going to be annoying for Amanda, but not that bad for Stella. Amanda gets her card draw at the start of the thing, and that gets the Day of Reckoning, which puts the Elder Sign onto it. Day of Reckoning is a massive pain in the ass. It's not the worst weakness in the game by any means, but it's just annoying. The Perception gets discarded, and then she has to put something else underneath her. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of investigation tools on the go here, so I'm going to just put a medical student underneath her and have this turn be a little bunk, I think. As much as that kind of sucks. It is what it is. Okay. And we're going to have Stella go first. Stella is going to, for 1 resource, play a rolled keyring. Yep. 2 uses on it. And then she's going to play an emergency cash for 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. She's going to use another old keyring charge to do, use to do an investigation against 0 Shroud. -4. That's the last clue off that. That gets rid of that. Amanda Sharpe is going to play a Crack the Case to give someone 3 resources, probably herself, because she's going to need the money a little more than Stella is. 1, 2, 3. Play. What was it again? Play, cash, investigate. So that's Stella. Forgot she didn't fail. Okay, Amanda, I think we're going to go ahead and spend 2 clues as a group. We'll spend them off of Stella so that we're relatively even to draw the encounter card beneath the location. So let's see what we get. Bloody evidence. You follow a set of footprints through the snow, hoping they will lead you to a sign, any sign of your lost companions. Sadly, the evidence you discover is not the kind you were hoping to find. Where the prints end, you find an ice pick, covered in freshly frozen blood. To your horror, a human eye lies nearby, staining the snow red. A shudder creeps up your spine. What on earth could compel somebody to do such a thing? Search the top 9 cards of your deck for each copy of Tekelili and place each one you find in the bottom of the Tekelili deck without resolving it. Shuffle your deck. Add this story card to the victory display. Interesting. So that goes up in the victory display, and I think, what was it, the top 9 cards of your deck for Tekelili? Does she even have one right now? I don't think she has one. Yeah, she doesn't have one, if I recall correctly. I guess I could have done that on Stella. I was considering Amanda to be the one to do it, but whatever. Not a big deal. So that's her not an action. I'm going to get her to play the knife as her first action, because she does need some form of self-sustain. The knife. And then we're going to get her to, you know what, all of these ones down here are, man, there's going to be a lot of doubling back. The question is, how many clues do I have right now? I have 4 clues, and I'll be getting another 8 here, so I can head to the Crystalline Cavern and probably back to the Rocky Crags as well. And I feel like that's a good path, and then head back around here, come back to the remnants of Lake Camp. Yeah, that's a good idea. So she's going to attempt to move to the snowdrifts, but through the ice is going to trigger. She has to test 2 against 2, and she doesn't have any. Yeah, that's fine. She doesn't have any anything to commit to this, so it just is what it is. 2 against 2 minus. Yeah, she fails, so she takes the top card of a Tekelili deck into her deck without looking at it, and she also takes 1 and 1. 1 on her lab assistant and 1 on herself. So that cancels the move. But through the ice is discarded. And then she's going to... Have I used it? I haven't seen a shortcut yet, so I don't really want to use it that badly. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on my own. Not burn that and not waste a Dream Enhancing Serum draw. Okay, so that's the turn. Stella's ready. Amanda's ready. Card draw for Amanda, which is a Perception. That'll be nice for next turn. Pick up a lot of clues off this one clue location in a resource. And then Stella gets, here's her hand, a card draw. Look what I found. Really good to see in a resource. Nice, that's awesome. We're up to 4 out of 5 Doom. And encounter cards for Amanda is the Ancient Evils, which causes us to advance. No cancels here, folks. Choose a face-down encounter card beneath a location. Look at the other side of that card without resolving its text. Then return to face down beneath that location. Tracks in the snow. As you journey through the glacial wilds, you stumble across a set of tracks in the snow, leading farther from camp. You pause and investigate further. Were these tracks made by one of your missing team members, or by something more monstrous? Choose a face-down encounter card beneath a location. Look at the other side without resolving its text, then return it face down beneath that location. Okay, so because I'm going to be going here sooner, I want to check the barrier camp, because this costs 8 clues to get into. I want to know if I'm going to be wasting my time to go there. This is Somber Remains. Looks like the same deal. Search the top 9 cards of your deck for a copy of Tekalili and place each one you find on the bottom of the deck without resolving it. Shuffle your deck. Add this to the victory display. So we don't need to go to Barrier Camp. It will likely have one of these objectives of recording something in the scenario log, but we don't have to. So that's that. We're on the chill of night. The low-hanging sun dimly illuminates the Antarctic night. Gray clouds cover the sky, threatening an icy storm. And we have one more encounter card for Stella. A Frenzied Explorer. He enters play with a Doom on him. When he's defeated, move each Doom on it to its location. Forced effect that. Reaction: after you successfully evade Frenzied Explorer by 2 or more, take control of 1 Doom on Frenzied Explorer and flip it to its clued side. Then if there is no Doom on Frenzied Explorer, discard it. Ooh, that's a bit of a pain. What does he do? 1 damage, 1 horror? Okay. It's a little shitty. And he's directly on Stella. Problem is I don't really want to take him attack of opportunity, but I also don't really want to fail. I guess I can, fail and evade. I'm not going to fail and evade, am I? The problem is that I might evade him and not succeed by 2 or more, right? Because I'm evading at 4, 5, minus 1 is 4, first action. I could commit a manual dexterity to it. Or I could just take that attack of opportunity. I'll have a think about it. Have a think about it and resolve Amanda's discard and shit. Promise of Power. First one I'm seeing of that. So we are going to go ahead and put that perception underneath her, and then we're just going to get her hand loaded right the hell up. Grizzly Totem I've been completely forgetting about. How many draws have I missed off that? Whew. Okay. Yeah, so let's think about how Stella's going to deal with him. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to evade him right off the bat. And I'm going to evade the 4 against 2. And I'll just re-engage him to try it again another time so that he's coming with me and not just sitting around with a Doom on him. Because I don't want to just put the Doom on the location. That would be awful. So I'm going to evade him 2 up. First action. Minus 1. So 1 up now. And the autofail. Okay. So that's kind of convenient because that means I get to use my Rabbit's Foot. And I actually get to do this test at a reasonable value now. Mysterious Raven. Okay. So we will try to evade him again, this time putting a manual dexterity into it. And that actually has us at 4, 5, 6, 7 against 2. So we're 5 up. See how that goes. Happy with 5 up for a succeed by 2. Minus 3. So that's succeed by 2. We take control of the Doom on him. Flip it to its frenzied side. Then if there's no Doom on him, we discard it. And then we also draw a card from our manual dexterity. Tekalili. Place one of your clues on the location. Not that big of a deal, I don't think. Place this on the bottom of the Tekalili deck. Bye-bye. And then we'll use Danforth again to draw 2 more cards. We have so many cards in hand for Sweet Stella, Neither Rain Nor Snow, and Granny. So we get the Granny into play, and we will be crushing. So we failed. did an action to successfully investigate. We will... Ooh, we can play Granny right off the bat. Yep. Granny's going to be sweet to have. Granny comes into play. And then we have one more action because of that failed test. Let's take a move. We're going to move to catch up with Amanda, but we are going to trigger the track shoes and head down to the snow graves, I think. I already have that soapstone, but I think I want to do that. So we're going to try to do that test. We are 4-5 against 2, and we have Granny Orn's ability to get a -1 or +1 if we need it. That is half of my shroud value, which is 2, so I do succeed, and I get to shove over into the snow graves. And that's Stella's turn. Okay, that's Stella's turn. Amanda Sharpe. You've got some explaining to do, miss. Let's do an investigate right off the bat. First action. Put the perception into it. Use a grizzly totem. Give it a bonus icon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1. 4 up. Should put a deduction into this. No, I want to draw my other deduction. I haven't drawn my deduction yet. That's why I'm putting the grizzly totem into it. -3. That's successful. So we get 1 clue. We draw a card from perception. Unexpected courage. Second copy. Dream Enhancing Serum draws a card. Tekelili, discard a card at random from your hand. Place this on the bottom of the Tekelili deck. And then we're also going to be drawing a card from the Grizzly Totem. Once I discard a card from at random. Unexpected Courage. Not the worst to be discarding, is it? Okay, and then one more card draw because of the Grizzly Totem. Dream Diary. Great. Love to see that. I think we're going to play that Dream Diary because we're going to want to have that in play immediately. So let's 2 resources for the Dream Diary into play. And we'll do one more investigate. We're going to do the perception, and you know what? We'll just put the deduction into it as well, I think. Should we do that? Nah, we'll just do one more investigate. We'll be 4 against 1. Yeah, and 4 against 1 is fine. Just get more cards in hand. That's not a fail anyways. Good thing I didn't put it in, right? Okay, so that's the turn. We ready up. Grizzly Totem and Dream Enhancing Serum. Draw a card and gain a resource. Whispers from the Deep. That's a bit of a bummer. Hopefully we get a test we can chuck that into on our upkeep. We'll ready this Rabbit's Foot. Next turn I'm going to try to flip both of these encounter cards. Track Shoes and Danforth are all ready. We get a draw, which is Live and Learn. That's great. Okay, one more resource would be really nice to get a look what I found, but it is what it is. 1 Doom on the agenda out of 5. Also, this Elder Sign should have been back in for a while, pretty much that whole turn, but we'll just call that a mistake that works against us for the most part. Mix that up, and then we'll do encounter cards. Amanda gets Aperiophobia. Test X, where X is your location shelter, so 4 willpower. If you fail, you must decide. Either take 1 horror for each point you failed by, place 2 of your clues in your location, or add a frost token to the chaos bag. Okay, well, we're just going to put the Whispers of the Deep into this, and we're going to be putting 2 clues in our location, because we can pick those up pretty quickly with a deduction underneath us, and a Dream Diary adding shit to our, adding a big, couple big icons to our hand. So we're testing 2 against, 1 against 4. -2, so we fail by 4. We put 2 of our clues back on the location. And Whispers of the Deep is dealt with at least. Stella gets an Ancient Evils. Oh my god. All 3 of them this early? Well, at least I know how many turns are going to be left, so long as that doesn't shuffle again. Okay. Start of the investigator phase and the start of my turn. No, start of the investigator phase happens first. We draw a dream enhancing serum. The perception goes away. And I'll put the deduction under her. As much as I would like to get the second one, get the draw from it off the dream enhancing serum, I want to pick up these clues, clue them. The dream enhancing serum. Sorry, the essence of the dream is still waiting. Let's think about how we do this turn. I think we do this turn on Stella by just grabbing as many clues as we possibly can with a bunch of investigates. Actually, I say that, but I'm going to spend 2 clues off of Stella to draw the encounter card beneath her location. Search your deck for a copy of Tekalili and place it on the bottom of the Tekalili deck without resolving it. You follow a set of tracks into a small cavern carved into a glacial wall, and your stomach lurches at the sight before you. One of your missing team members lies in a crumpled heap at the end of a hollow, his clothing torn open. A clean vertical incision has bisected his torso open from his sternum to his belly, and his entrails have been carefully removed. You struggle not to retch. Who could have possibly done such a thing? Search your deck for a copy of Tekalili and place it on the bottom of the Tekalili deck. Without resolving it, shuffle your deck. So I do have 1, which is take 1 damage, and I have 1, which is lose 2 resources. I think losing money is actually a bit more harmful for me right now, so we'll get rid of that. I really like the way that these are working. They're kind of fun. And I'm glad I'm playing it with physical cards and not on TTS, because that would actually kind of suck to do. Those would be annoying to do all the time, constantly shuffling cards in and out of your deck. I would find that frustrating. Okay, well, we know it's not there, but we are at a 3 shroud location. So we'll toss out an investigate, just for shits. We're 3 against 4. Should I use the old keyring on that? No, I'll just get the fail and maybe you could draw a card, I guess. 3 against 4. -1, so I do fail. We'll exhaust the rabbit's foot, which I'll put on top because I'm going to be getting that fairly often. Madame Lebranche, that's fine. So we have 3 actions left now. We now do 3 against 3. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a keyring charge to be 3 against 1. Because I do need these clues to come into this crystalline cavern. So I do need to pick up as many of these clues as I can. Half of your shelter value, which is 5, rounded up. So we'll use Granny to get +1 and be passing. Tossing the old keyring aside. And then we will investigate again, 3 against 2. Oh, did I do the math on that correctly? It was 3 against 1. And that was a -3. Yeah, okay. I did do the math on that correctly. But now I'm 3 against 2. Is 3 against 2 good enough? I think it is. Should take the glue, shouldn't I? Elder Sign. You know what? I already failed this turn, and like I was saying, I really want to get the clues so I can progress. We'll take the clue. And I've got Granny for a little bit of extra soak, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll do 1 more investigate, and you know what? I'm just going to pitch this Mysterious Raven, because I'm basically never going to play him with a Madame. So we are 4 against 2. No, you know what? I'm not going to pitch him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 4 against 2. 2 up's better. 2 up's just better. -2. Cool. That's the turn. Okay, Amanda. She's got a lot going on. Essence of the Dream goes to hand. Let's crush and investigate really quick. We'll do a deduction. We'll do an Essence of the Dream into it. We'll put a Grizzly Totem. We'll save the Grizzly Totem. Yeah, let's save the Grizzly Totem. So what I'll do instead is I'll investigate with an Unexpected Courage in the deduction, and I'll use the Grizzly Totem on that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 1, which I don't really need, but it's better than having like 8 or 9 against 1, like to have that evened out. Because there is the Frost tokens, so 5 against 1. Oh, auto fail. Bummer. Yeah, that is what it is. Nope, we're going to return one of those. Sorry, I'm going to cancel one of those Frost tokens, right? And reveal a new one. And that's a use off of Avery. -3. Okay, so that's successful. I get 2 clues off of it. We draw a card from the Grizzly Totem, which is a magnifying glass. That's probably not going to get played. And I could get a whole ton more clues with the Broad Snowdrifts if I wanted to. But I don't think I'm gonna. That's not a doom, that's a clue. Yeah, we're gonna investigate again with the Essence of the Dream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 2 icons. We're going to... I could add a Frost token to the Chaos Bag to get these 3 clues in one action. That might be worth it. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But it might be. I feel like those auto fails are going to be really annoying. You know what? I'm just going to investigate 2 up. I've got the deduction. Oh well. You know what? No. There's no point in not committing the Essence of the Dream because I'm not going to have. I just as soon get the clues now and fail something in the mythos phase, I guess. So yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 0. So that's 2 clues. Essence of the Dream gets discarded. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and play our other Essence of the Dream. For 3 resources. And feel fairly secure on that. So that's her. We ready up. Should probably look at that next one, but I'm going to do that at the start of next turn instead. I should have revealed that right away. So we get a draw on Amanda, which is a Vicious Blow. That sets us up nicely for if an enemy pops out. And draw on Stella, which is a Scrounge for Supplies. I'm going to get rid of Attract Shoes because I don't need a second copy of it. And the icons are better on Waylay. And the ability is better on it for a card that I don't have a second copy of. Okay. That's that. Doom up on the agenda. Counter card for Amanda is Polar Vortex. At the end of your turn at the attached location. Attached to your location. When you end your turn at the attached location, each card you control with health, including your Investigator, takes a direct damage. So the Polar Vortex is right here on the Broad Snowdrifts. And then Stella gets Skittering Nonsense. Hunter, when you defeat him, you shuffle the top card of the Tekelili deck into your deck without looking at it. So we can kill him with the Meat Cleaver pretty reliably, I think. Yeah. Okay. Amanda's stuff goes first, so we have to look at this card. It's a Crack the Case. Let's think. The deduction comes off of from under her. Unfortunately. And I think the magnifying glass goes under her because the knife is going to be handy for if an enemy pops out. I don't know what's going to happen with that agenda flips over, so we're going to be a little careful. And I think we're going to have Stella go first because I can kill this guy, walk in. How many clues do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8, so I can walk into the crystalline cavern after I've killed that skittering nonsense. With the track shoes, if I can get that to fire. So let's go ahead with Stella. She's going to swing once with the meat cleaver. 3, 4, 3 against 2. 3 against 2. And we're going to take a horror on Granny Orn to deal bonus damage. That is a minus 3, which is just going to fail. Because we don't have any other ways to do it, but we will get a card drawn from Rabbit's Foot for Missing, which is a Live and Learn, which we have a second copy of. That'll go back to the bag. And we'll play the Live and Learn. Now, I don't remember... How does Live and Learn and Quick Learner work? I don't quite remember that one. I'm going to see if I can look it up real quick, because I'm pretty sure that the test is over and I'm no longer getting -1. But I don't recall. Quick Learner, Live and... Oh no! Learn? Oh yeah, there's no Live and Learn on Quick Learner. Okay, so what I was going to ask... Play after the skill test you failed ends. I'm pretty sure after the skill test you fail ends is after the action is over, and so I'm no longer during my first action. I think. So I don't think this gets +1 difficulty. So anyways, I played the Live and Learn. So that means I'm swinging again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 2. And if not, it would be 5 against 2. So we'll see what the result is. And if it's exactly a -4, I'll cry because I won't know what to do. -1. It could always be an auto fail, couldn't it? -2. So that's -3 in total, so either way I would have passed. So he's dead, and I get the top card of the Tekelili deck shuffled into my deck without looking at it. Now, that's kind of convenient because it means that I have 3 actions left because I failed that first one, which is pretty useful. I think I kind of want to get the clue off this as well. I love the deck. Thanks, Aaron. Oh, god damn it. How's it going, bud? Let's see. What are we going to do now? I've got 3 actions left on Stella. I think I want to get this clue off this location so I can flip this card and walk into here next turn. I think that's what I want to do. Right? That sounds right to me. So I'm going to investigate 3 against 3. Should I commit anything to that? I've got another Live and Learn in hand. Investigate even. Investigate even with the 0, and then I can Live and Learn if it fails. And be 2 up on that failure. So -1. Getting a lot of these frost tokens all of a sudden. I feel like I didn't see them at all last scenario. So -3. So I do fail. I'll play the Live and Learn. Try the test again at 5. Five against 3. So I'm 2 up, and I've got Granny Orn in case I need it. 0, so that's successful. Get that clue. Third action, we'll move up here with Amanda. We'll trigger the track shoes. We 5 against 2 to see if we can get a bonus move. Still have Granny Orn available if I need it. -2, so that's successful. We'll spend 8 clues, so 4 off of Stella and 4 off of Amanda to reveal the crystalline cavern. Say 5 shroud. Oh, Jesus. 5 shroud, 6 clue location with a test of 5 agility to climb up one of the crystalline walls in search of evidence. If you succeed in the supplies recovered section of your campaign log, record miasma crystal. Jesus Christ. Shelter 8. Oh, okay, so that would have been the best shelter place to be in the last scenario. Okay. So it was fight, live and learn, clue, live and learn, move, and then I have 1 action left. I could try that test. That might be a good thing to do. I have no idea if I need to or not, but I can do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's toss. I've got a decent amount of horror on me. Let's toss a waylay and a rabbit's foot into this to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 5. 8 against 5 seems reasonable with a granny. Not bad. -1, 7 against 5 with a granny. Still available, and that's an auto-fail. Ugh! These frost tokens are absolutely sticking to me right now. That's okay. I think we're doing okay on pace. Not 100% sure, but I feel like I'm doing okay. Amanda needs to get this clue, flip this location, and then I don't even know. She's not going to be able to get 5 shroud clues off unless I dump it all into a promise of power, and then I'll be failing tests left, right, and center. She does get the essence of the dream to her hand, so that's fine. I guess she'll... Let's see. She'll take an investigate here. She'll be 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Let's just do 6 against 1 shroud. I just want to get the card draw off of Grizzly Totem. -1. Okay. So we get the clue off of the Broad Snow Flats. We get the draw from the Grizzly Totem, which is my other deduction. Essence of the Dream goes away. Let's flip this. Let's spend our 2 clues to flip this bad boy. Disappearing footprints. The tracks continue for some time before vanishing bafflingly into the snow. There's no sign of any struggle, nor are there any other tracks that might indicate where they could have gone. Could the winds have covered the tracks? And if so, why were you able to follow the rest of the footprints so easily? But when you turn back to examine the prints you first followed, they too are gone. Remove a frost token from the chaos bag. Add the story card to your victory display. Oh man, I wish I'd have done that first. Shit. Well, I'm glad that's gone. Did I put my... There it is. That's great. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I'm 1 action into this turn. We're going to go ahead and move up to... We're going to take a draw action, I think. Overpower. So there's 2 overpowers, so I'm going to trigger both of my dream-enhancing serums to draw 2 more cards. 1, 2, shortcut and a vicious blow. Okay. Feeling a lot better about next turn. I have 1 action left. Let's go ahead and just move up to Stella. So we're all here at this 5 shroud location. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Ready our cards. End of the round. That's a ready. This Polar Vortex is getting discarded at the end of the round as well. We draw a card. Practice makes perfect and gain a resource. Bad practice makes perfect is like the most hilarious timing imaginable. Ready over here. Draw a card. Tekelili, discard an asset you control. Place Tekelili in the bottom of the Tekelili deck. Oof, that's tricky. Let's just discard our Rabbit's Foot and just get it back next turn with the Scrounge for supplies. Yep. Bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. 4 out of 5 Doom. We are seriously starting to run out of time. The Polar Mirage. Attached to the nearest location with at least one clue and without a copy of Polar Mirage attached. After you discover or take control of one or more clues at the attached location, discard each non-weakness card in your hand. Fuck, discard Polar Mirage. And then for Stella, the Antarctic Wind. Attached to the nearest location without a copy of the Antarctic Wind attached. Investigators cannot play cards or draw cards from their deck. At the end of the round, discard the Antarctic Wind. Wow. That is a brutal... Polar Mirage is awful. That sucks, man. Alright, so I just want to double check my map connections. I'm at the Crystalline Caverns. The only place I can actually go from here is a spot that I need clues to get into or back. And I don't really want to walk the whole way around, get clues off one of these shitty locations, or walk all the whole way back here. But this Polar Mirage is, like, seriously limiting. That is awful. So the Investigator round starts. She draws a Promise of Power, which is going to trigger both of her Dream-Enhancing Serums. It's going to shuffle her deck. And once her deck is shuffled, that's going to kill off the Lab Assistant. So, one draw is an Unexpected Courage. Our Lab Assistant gets killed as a result of that draw, and the other one is a Practice Makes Perfect. So she's got a massive hand here, and she has to put something underneath her. Discarding the Magnifying Glass. What I could do... Oh man, that would be so painful. I was just going to say I could sacrifice her whole hand and grab like 4 of the clues. But this is like... I'm all set up right now. That would be so awful. Oh, fuck Polar Mirage, man. That is brutal. I wonder if Stella could sacrifice her hand and not feel so sad about it. But she's going to have a hard time picking up any clues off this 4-shroud location. Sorry, 7-shroud location. That's tough, man. That is tough. Whew. Cannot play cards or draw cards from their deck, which I just did. Like, I literally just did that. A ton of it. What did I get again? Unexpected Courage, Practice Makes Perfect, and that guy died. Oh, she can't even use her ability. Okay. I fucked that up tremendously. I think that there was, what, a Practice Makes Perfect as the last card in my deck? Oh man, I've already reordered stuff. I don't remember. I don't remember. That's a bummer. Well, I fucked up the Antarctic Wind, so... Yeah, that is what it is. I guess we'll just like put a medical student beneath her and then just take a bunch of shortcuts and walk around. Because I don't see any way... This just sucks ass. So let's leave. We'll just like shortcut and shortcut. So we'll go, where is it? The Broad Snowdrifts, and then the Frozen Shores. And then first action we'll move to the Treacherous Pass. And then we'll, what? Oh, and the Essence of the Dream should be my hand as well. We'll investigate with a Practice Makes Perfect attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, a Perception goes into that. And I guess we'll just commit a deduction as well to try to get both those clues at once. No sense in not. Shortcut, move, investigate. Okay. And how about this? I'll use the Grizzly Totem on this and say that my draws for my Dream Enhancing Serum stuff all happened from this investigate if it was successful. How about that? Not quite correct, but I'll just not take the draws, I guess, from the Grizzly Totem. And the perception. And we'll be, more or less not as silly as it should be. So +1, get both of those clues. The perception goes to hand. I didn't commit my Essence of the Dream, but I had intended to like crush the test. So, yeah, that was, sorry. I'm kind of, I got a little off track there because of messing up that Arctic Wind rule. But that was the intent, was to commit the Essence of the Dream to like absolutely demolish this test. And then last action, she'll spend her 2 clues to head into the Rocky Crags to open up the path for Stella so she doesn't have to walk the whole fucking way around. When a treachery is attached to Rocky Crags, that treachery gains surge, max once per phase. Wow, fuck that. That is awful. Okay, anyways, that's Stella. Sorry, that's not Stella. That's Amanda. And I do have a bit of a hand size problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, Stella, we want to scrounge the rabbit's foot and then play the rabbit's foot. That's action 1 and 2. We're gonna just try that agility test, I guess, for no reason other than to get an extra action. So we're testing 5 against 4, I guess. Yeah, 5 against 4. 0, so that just succeeds, and we record the miasmic crystal that goes into our campaign log. Cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, that turn happened. Those guys ready, and we draw a card and gain a resource. And we have 2 unexpected courages, so we draw 2 cards with our Dream Enhancing Serums. A Eureka, and our Obscure Studies. And then over on Stella, we get a card, which is Dark Horse, and a resource. I think Dark Horse really helps a ton here. That's not hugely helpful. So we get to 5 Doom again. For the next threshold, the Chill of Night. As you journey through the glacial wilds, you stumble across a set of tracks in the snow leading farther from camp. You pause and investigate further. Were these tracks made by one of your missing team members or by something more monstrous? Choose a face-down encounter card beneath the location. Look at the other side of that card without resolving its text. Then return it face-down beneath that location. So we got that. Is it like the exact same? I think it's the exact same. Ooh. Oh, I almost knocked you over. Sorry, camera. It's the exact same. So we already looked at Barrier Camp. What's my next most expensive thing to get into? It's going to be this Frigid Cave. So let's take a look at the Frigid Cave and see if that's it. Madness Inside. This lets me choose a possessed enemy in play that does not have the elite trait. Take control of their doom on that enemy, flipping them to their clues side, discard the chosen enemy. Okay, so this lets me like deal with a possessed guy. Not largely useful. Not the greatest, I don't think. So I need to... I know it's not Barrier Camp, so I need to check this one, and this one, and technically this one as well. But we'll see what happens. We have a new 6 Shroud, or 6 Doom. Ice Shaft, test 3 Agility. For each Frost revealed, take damage. If you fail, take 2 damage. You know what? I'd like to not take a bunch more damage, so I'm going to use the Obscure Studies to shove this Medical Student in my hand and have a decent shot at this test, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we're going to be 5 against 3. +1. Do not fall down the ice shaft. And then Stella gets another Polar Mirage, the nearest location with at least one clue without a copy of Polar Mirage attached. Fuck this, man. That is crazy. This card is fucking bonkers. Discard each non-weakness card in your hand. What the fuck? Alright, we're gonna have to go for like a big reset just to get these two guys checked out. That is so brutal. I don't know that I have any way of yeah, I don't have a way to game that. I just have to eat that, which is just the worst. It's just the worst. Terror. Guess I should have tried to figure out a way to. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anything I really could have done aside from not standing on the locations that I need to investigate. That's doesn't sound right. I don't think that would work. Okay, so I'm a little worried I'm not going to find her. I guess it goes like this. Who do I not mind losing their hand? It's Stella. All I really want to do is play this. Look what I found. Everything else, she's relatively self-sufficient. I'll walk in here, get 2 clues from there. She'll get 2 clues from there, and then she'll walk back and discover this one. Stella will get this one. There. That's fine. The crystalline cavern can stay. We're not setting up camp there anyways. We don't have to get all the clues off of it. But that does put us in a situation where we need to pick up 2 clues off these. Something on the way to the icy wastes. In order to open up this one and get this one. Oh no, but I guess there could be enough clues on the icebreaker landing. Is that one even on camera right now? Yeah, it's not on camera right now. I'll move it around a little bit. The icebreaker landing. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead with Stella. Let's not dilly-dally around any longer. Stella's going to move up to the Rocky Crags. She's going to investigate. She's investigating 3 against 3 with Granny Orn. Does she need to commit anything? She doesn't need to commit anything because she wants to use look what I found and fail. -2. So I do fail. Shuffle the top card of the Tekulili deck. This is an if you fail trigger. So first, let's do this in a good order. After you fail a skill test by 2 or less while investigating. 1, 2. Grab 2 clues. After you discover or take control of one or more clues on the attached location, discard each non-weakness card in your hand to discard Polar Mirage. We failed, so we trigger Rabbit's Foot. Drawing a card. Waylay. And then the Tekulili thing goes in as a failed test result of the deck of the skill test. Okay. Okay. So that was a failed. It was a move, fail. So I have 2 actions left. Can I just get 2 more clues? Is that going to be possible? We investigate 3 against 2. The problem is if I get the clues, then Amanda can't go do this. So I don't want to get clues. Okay, I don't want to get clues. So I'll draw a card. Take heart. And then, you know what? I think we're going to... I guess the question is, do I want to just like head over this way right now? and leave Amanda to her own devices? I think with the knife out and the vicious blows in hand, the answer is yes. So we'll move from the Rocky Crags to the... Oh no. We'll spend our 2 clues to look at the card under here. We'll have 1 action left. Search your deck for a copy of Tekelele and place it on the bottom of the Tekelele deck without resolving it. As you traverse the glacial wild, something rumbles and churns beneath your feet. Is that where these creatures are coming from? In the depths of the ice? A somber thought crosses your mind. If you're right, such entities could exert their vile influence no matter where you stand. Perhaps this has something to do with your missing companions after all, though there are no signs of them here. So we search our deck for Tekelele. We've got a clue drop. We've got a damage. And that's it. I'm definitely getting rid of the clue drop. The clue drop one is painful. That would be just not what I'm looking for. And then that goes into the victory display with victory 0. No victory so far this scenario. Little rough. But then we'll move last action with the track shoes, testing, well, moving to the treacherous pass, testing the track shoes, 5 against 2. -1. So we scoot over to the precarious ice sheet, which is just like a beautiful name for a place to be. So that's Stella. Whew, what a turn. Okay. Did she forget to do this part? Did she forget to do her whole thing? Where she like draws a card and... Yeah, she did. So draw a card, it's a Eureka, and then we get rid of the obscure studies. Let's just put a Eureka under her, I guess. We'll just get a bunch of card draw. So she needs to pass she needs to pass 2 investigates here, head here, and do the ability on it. So let's... Do I have another deduction in the deck? I do. So let's investigate here with a practice makes perfect, searching the top 9 cards of the deck for deduction. Right, that's less than 9. Use a Grizzly Totem as well. You know what? Yeah, no, we'll use the Totem. And an Unexpected Courage, just to be like super certain I passed this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. I thought it was more than that. I don't really want to risk the... I want to get this in 1 action. So I'm going to commit my other Eureka. I'm going to hit my weakness, but not a big deal. That is what it is, right? And this deduction is going back to my hand. -3, so it's successful. The deduction goes to hand. The Unexpected Courage and the Eureka and the Grizzly Totem. So we'll draw 1. Perception. Eureka, top 3 cards. Crack the case. Other Eureka, top 3 cards. Medical student. 3-card deck, 2 weaknesses. Which one will it be? And then, most importantly, of course, is the 2 clues. Scoot down here, second action. Spend our 2 clues to look at this card. Oh, come on, baby. Evil Within. You're fleeing from a creature made of kaleidoscopic ooze when you suddenly freeze in place, a web of cracks reaching out across the ice beneath your boots. Your breath catches in your throat. Another step could spell your doom or save your life. Behind you, the entity gains on you, reaching out with arms that are not quite solid or liquid. Feeling lucky, you decide to roll the dice, striking the ground behind you and fleeing to the side. Just as you hoped, the ice is thin enough to splinter open, and the creature tumbles down through the crack into the icy depths. You breathe a sigh of relief, thankful you did not share a similar fate. Discard an Eidolon enemy that does not have an elite trait from play. Add this story card to the victory display. Victory 0. Well, there's no Eidolon enemies at all. We've got 1 action left. We've got a ridiculous hand size. And we've got no lab assistants. I guess that's what my last card is. Anyways. We'll just take one action down to the broad snowdrifts, and we'll head back up to the remnants of Lake Camp and try and, I don't know, toss over powers and promise the powers into his test here to get that done. And maybe Stella, we'll have to rely on Stella to get this. That is what it is. So her hand size is fucked right now. 1, 2, oh Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's the turn. Ready. Ready, ready, ready. Draw a card. The lab assistant. That's hilarious. 1 resource. Everything's ready over here as well. Hypochondria. Not a big deal. And a resource. 1 Doom on Madness and Death. We do have to do some discards over here. I'm going to discard a Practice Makes Perfect because that's not useful right now. And I'm also going to discard a Crack the Case because I don't think I really need money. I just need to pass a couple tests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So the 1 Doom, encounter cards. Amanda first, through the ice, nearest location without a copy, so that is on her location. She's going to have to waste an action there. And Stella, the Lost Researcher, any location empty if able. Enters play with a Doom on it. When he's defeated, move each Doom on it to its location. Test 3 willpower or 3 intellect. If you succeed, take control of 1 Doom on the Lost Researcher and flip it to its clue side. Then if there's no Doom on Lost Researcher, discard it. Alright, well, he's going to go to the remnants of Lake Camp, and Amanda's going to deal with him. So the Eureka gets discarded. We draw a card, which is our Whispers of the Deep, and that has to go into Amanda. But that's fine. This Eureka just got discarded. I just put it in my hand instead of my discard pile. Okay. So we're going to go with Amanda first to make sure that we can do this stuff. Because I think technically Stella could come around and deal with it if she needed to. So we're going to move out of Through the Ice. As an additional cost for us to enter or leave, we have to do that test. So it's a test of 1 against 2. Which is rough, but, you know, it is what it is. We're going to just be taking a damage and canceling the effect. That's an auto-fail anyways, so we cancel the effect, take a damage and a horror. Damage and a horror. And then we'll move up here, which will engage him. And then we just need to pass a huge parlay for intellect. So, let's parlay a bit. Not even huge, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 1, plus 1. 6 against 3. Let's toss the lab assistant into it as well, I think. Yeah, we'll toss the lab assistant into it as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. 7 against 3. Minus 4. Cool. So we get that as a clue, and he gets discarded. We get a card from Perception, which is the Day of Reckoning, which moves the... Oh, this Instance of the Dream should be in my hand. There's no way I wouldn't have taken that. Moves the Elder Sign out of the bag. Day of Reckoning is actually an interesting weakness when you see it often. It's kind of dumb when you don't ever see it if you don't draw that much on the deck, but it's cool when you see it often. And that was her full turn, right? Failed move, parlay. So that's her. Stella's turn. Stella needs to just pick up a ton of clues off here, so she's going to move over. She's going to investigate 3 against 2. And she's just going to take a bunch of 3 against 2s. -1. -3 actually, because of the ability on Icy Waste. The first frost is a -3 instead of a -1. So that's -4, so we draw with a rabbit's foot. We get our action back. We were 3 against 2 and we got -4. Okay, I wish I had a resource. That's a bummer. It's 1 move. I've got 2 actions left. We'll just take 2 more investigates, so we're 3 against 1 for these 2 investigates. That's a successful one. And that's a successful one. Great. We will check. We'll check the bottom of that card. Oh no, we won't check that because we need 4 clues to head into the icebreaker landing. Okay, I'm gonna need Amanda to come help then. I won't be able to do this alone with her. Okay, but that's fine. That's good to know. So we get a draw on Amanda, which reshuffles the deck, which is this one, and a horror on her as well. Whoops. At least I've got the Essence of the Dream to help counteract Whispers from the Deep in the Mythos phase. That'll be nice. I would like to get this this succeeded. This dig through the snow in search of supplies. That'll be nice to have. Research Librarian, which is Lab Assistant, sorry, which we did just get rid of, so we don't draw our Dream Enhancing Serums. But did I take a resource yet? I don't think I did. And then a card and a resource on Stella, which is Called by the Mist. That's painful. And a resource. Would have been nice not to have seen that this scenario, but it is what it is. 1 Doom. Counter cards. 0 visibility. Put it into play in your threat area. There's an additional cost for you to leave a location with a treachery icon, or with the treachery attached to it. You must spend an action at the end of your turn. Test 2 agility. If you succeed, discard 0 visibility. We saw that one last time. Abandoned to Madness. Attach to the nearest possessed enemy and place a doom on that enemy. If there are no possessed enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for possessed enemy, draw it, and attach Abandoned to Madness to it. Increase the ability to fight, evade, or parlay with the attached enemy by 1. Okay. That'll be a tough parlay on that Lost Researcher. But Amanda can do tough tests. You know what? I'm going to get him out of the deck instead. Yeah, I'm going to get one out of the deck. Whoops. Ooh. There you go. Actually, I think I'm going to put this Frenzied Explorer directly onto her with a Doom. Whoops. And this gets attached, but it doesn't put a Doom on him. No, we just attach it. Okay. But he does come into play with a Doom. But he does have +1 evade, but I think we're okay. I think that's all right. I think that we can pull that off. Okay. So, Amanda, Whispers from the Deep. She draws the top card of her deck, which is a shortcut. Whispers of the Deep goes into the discard pile. And then she needs to attach something underneath her. Let's toss this deduction underneath her and grab those clues real quick. That's what we're going to do. Yep. Okay. And actually, we're going to go ahead with her first, because I think I want her to be standing here so that she can help Stella crush this evade with the Essence of the Dream. That sounds pretty good to me. So we're going to have her scoot up. Take an investigate action here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Promise power. 6, 7, 8, 9. With a curse into the bag. 9 against 2, where the frost token is a -3. It's not great, but it's not awful. I'll be getting both the clues if I do this. And you know what? Fuck it. We'll just do the Grizzly Totem for another icon. So I think it was 10 total. 10 against 2. Half of the shelter, which is -2. So we definitely succeed. We get both the clues. And a card draw from Perception and a card draw from Grizzly Totem. So, Magnifying Glass. A Eureka. Great. Now we have tons of stuff to help out with. That was Move, Investigate. We're just going to go ahead and spend 2 resources on the Lab Assistant. And draw 2 cards. Yep. Crack the case. Eureka. Eureka triggers Dream Enhancing Serum twice. Practice makes perfect. Lab Assistant. Done. At the Icy Wastes. Stella. What the fuck are you going to do, lady? She can take an attack of opportunity doing something, but I don't really want to do that. So we'll be evading him 5 against 4, which will make us take a damage and a horror. But that's not a big deal because we have so much soak right now. So 5 against 4. Do I want to do that first action? Yeah. And I'll put a take card into it just to draw through any pain if I do fail. I don't think I'm probably not going to fail just because I committed the take card, but it is what it is. My rabbit's foot currently is tapped, but on screen, but it's not. I have that available. -2. Okay, sweet. So we're failing, unless I get an Elder Sign or a +1. -1. Okay, so we fail. The curse gets burned. We draw a card with Rabbit's Foot for 1. Another Take Heart, and then Take Heart for fires. And we've got a neither rain nor snow, so we can crush this test now. Okay, great. That's excellent. We have an action back, so we still have 3 actions left. So we're going to evade him again. This time, we'll go ahead and commit the neither rain nor snow, and then also get a let's get the Essence of the Dream committed for us, which is giving us another +4. So that's 7 plus my 5 is like 12 against 3. Should be pretty safe on that, I think. -1. So he is Doom removed as a clue, and then discarded along with his attachment. Failed evade, successful evade. Okay. So I've got 6 clues now because I got all those extra guys. So we're going to spend 2 to look at this location in case we don't have to get to the icebreaker landing. Please, please, please. Oh, dead end. Remove a frost token from the chaos bag. There's nothing here but ice and snow and no sign of any missing team members. Frustrated, you turn back. You won't find anyone here. Well, at least we have no frost tokens left. That's not what I was expecting to happen at all. Where's my frost token? There she is. I was not expecting to totally thaw off. by spending all night looking for our friends. Anyways, we'll spend 4 clues to reveal the icebreaker or move into icebreaker landing. It's a 2-shroud location with 4 clues on it. Test for intellect to search the trapped ship for supplies. If you succeed, either remove a frost token from the cast bag or record small radio. Okay. Failed evade, successful evade, move. I still have a investigate left because I failed an action. Let's go ahead and just investigate 3 against 1 with Granny Orn and Stella's base intellect. Oi, oi, oi. We'll need one more clue off here. There it is. One more clue after that one, I should say. And then I gotta deal with whoever... I gotta deal with her, because she's an enemy. And then resign in time. Oh, at the end of her turn, she was supposed to test 2 agility. And I didn't say I was going to commit anything, and I've drawn cards since, and I don't remember what I have, so she'll test her 2 agility and see if she passes it. There should be a frost token in here for this. Whatever. She failed, and she gets a Tekalili card into her deck. Doing my best. Okay. End of round, we ready up. She gets a resource and a card, an unexpected courage, which she does not have a copy of. A resource and a card, which is a manual dexterity. Oof. 3 out of 6 doom. Counter card for Amanda is whiteout, attached to your location. Get -1, -1, -1, -1. And then for Stella, is skittering nonsense, which I can probably just kill pretty quick. Amanda has to take 2 actions to get out of here. We're going to go with Stella first to reveal the enemy, and then we'll figure out the rest after that. So this Rabbit's Foot's ready. So we're going to be attacking him with the meat cleaver. We're going to go ahead and spend 3 resources. No, we're not going to spend 3 resources. Okay, so we're going to take a horror from the meat cleaver, attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4 against 3. Zero, so that does kill him. And when I defeat him, I get to take a Lily card into my deck. I was gonna use the what the fuck was it called? Trial by fire, but then I was like, why the fuck would I do that? There's no need. And then I'm going to investigate 3 against 2. Kind of hope I fail this one so I get an action back, because I can get the clues with the look that I found that I've got in hand. Okay, 3 against 2, I fail. I'll use 2 resources for the look what I found to grab 2 clues off the location. I've got 2 actions left. I'm going to spend my 2 clues to look at the underside of this, and it is Dr. Amy Kensler, a 4/2/3 with a parlay ability. Test 2 intellect to convince Dr. Kensler to tell you what she's seen. For each point you succeed by, place a resource on her from the token pool. If you fail, she attacks you. If there are 2 per investigator resources on her, so 4 resources, add her to the victory display. If she is defeated, cross her name off in the campaign log. Victory 1. So she's engaged with Stella. Stella is now has 1 action left and is engaged with Dr. Amy Kensler and is testing 3 against 1? No, this is why I saved the trial by fire. We're going to test 6 against 1. And try and get as many of those on as we can. Six against 1. Let's go. Auto fail. Okay. So Stella flubs it. And she attacks me for 1 and 1. So let's go like this. Okay. As an additional cost for you to leave a location with a treachery attached to it, you may spend an action. She also doesn't have this deduction. I completely forgot to do her ability again. Crack the case. Which would have triggered my Dream Enhancing Serums for 2 more cards. I don't think I get to choose from those. So, let's put, like, an Unexpected Courage under her, I guess. And then she gets a deduction, and at that, the Essence of the Dream goes to her hand at the start of the turn. She moves up for 2 actions, and then she's going to just absolutely demolish this parlay with an Essence, Unexpected Courage, Grizzly Totem for +1, toss both of these, crack the cases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against 2. 12 against 2. 12 against 2. Goes the Amanda deck. It's going really well, actually. I'm super impressed with it. It's she's kind of crushing. They're getting fucked by this Polar Mirage. I don't know if you've seen this treachery. After you discover or take control of 1 or more clues at the attached location, discard each non-weakness card in your hand, and then discard Polar Mirage. So when that's on a location, I just can't investigate it, because I'd be totally reset. -3, so I succeed by... What did I say it was? 12 against? So I succeed by 7. So I place 7 resources on her, and she gets to the victory display for 1 VP. And we've successfully done what we need to do. We just need to get the fuck out. We do draw a card because of the Grizzly Totem, and it's a perception. And now 0 visibility I need to test. Let's... Oh yeah, that's actually kind of a pain, isn't it? No, that's not a big deal. I have shortcuts in my hand. So I can kind of work my way around that if I don't pass it. Yeah, it's a really nasty treachery. It is a terror, so like if I had thought ahead of time, or if I had thought to upgrade into a logical reasoning instead of the Grizzly Totem and stuff, I could have worked around it. But I didn't. -1, so I still have this 0 visibility on me. Alright, that's the end of that round. We get a bunch of readying, a card draw, and a resource. That's another shortcut, so I can draw 2 more cards from my other ones. Discard a card at random from your hand. Place the Tekelili on the bottom of the Tekelili deck. This whole Tekelili deck thing is like hilarious how it works. I just use my Dream Enhancing Serums on my shortcut there. Because you just are constantly adding shit into your deck that like hurts you a little bit, but they're not so bad that they're like really painful. I worry for people though who don't have a lot of card draw that are gonna like suffer from just not knowing that they need to have more card draw and just suffer through them. I don't know. I don't really know how to phrase what I try to mean. If you get a ton of them in your deck, when they get added, you start taking horror instead. If you can't add them from the pile, we lose a promise of power. So, anyways, it's just kind of weird. So Stella gets a resource and a card draw. A Madame Labranche. We're at 4 out of 6 Doom. Abandoned to Madness. We get another possessed guy. So let's put him from the discard pile. No, we'll take him from the deck as well, actually. I think we have 1 more Lost Researcher. Yeah. We'll put him on the Icy Wastes. Also, this whiteout is gone. Oh my gosh. And he's got a Doom on him. And this is attached to him as well. He just gets +1 evade, fight, parlay. But it's already a tricky parlay test, so that's kind of a pain. And then 1 for Stella. Ice Shaft. 3 agility. We're 5 against 3. Do we have any commits for this? Yeah, we'll commit manual dexterity to that. 7 against 3. -3, so that's successful. We draw a card. Take a Lily, take a damage. That gets put back into the Tekulele deck on the bottom. And then we will trigger Danforth to draw 2 cards. Meat Cleaver and Neither Rain Nor Snow. Okay. Ice Shaft is gone. I think we're in good shape to get out of here now. I do need to deal with this Lost Researcher. If I don't deal with him, then I am actually kind of fucked. Because that will end the scenario. But I do have a full turn between the two of them to do it. So I do have to do Amanda first. She draws a card. Unexpected Courage goes away. And I have to choose what to put under her. Let's go ahead and put the Perception. I wonder if I was supposed to discard last turn. I kind of feel like I don't need to, but if I had to, I would have discarded the Medical Students. So let's just say that I don't want to have to count right now. I'm getting pretty tired. It's been a long scenario. So I'm pretty sure that the rest of this is fine. Between the Lab Assistant and the duplicates from Dream Enhancing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 14. I think I have enough duplicates. 1 duplicate, 2 duplicate, 3 duplicate, 4 duplicate. Yep. Okay, we're good. So Amanda's going to go first. I think. Essence of the Dream goes to hand. She's going to move in. Actually, I want Amanda to crush this Remnants of Lake Camp. So I need to do this a little differently. She's going to shortcut in. He's going to engage her. We're going to parlay first action. Perception with a Grizzly Totem. Unexpected Courage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 4. 8 against 4. 9 against 4. No, I only need to be 8 against 4 because I don't have frost tokens anymore and my curses are all used up. 8 against 4 for the parlay. Forgot I had 2 shortcuts, so I was worried about how many actions I'd have this turn to actually do the stuff I wanted to do. -3, so his Doom becomes a clue. He gets discarded alongside this. We will shortcut again. Where did I put my hand instead of the shortcut? Instead of the discard pile. We'll shortcut again down to the Remnants of Lake's Camp. And then we will... 1, 2, 3... How many cards am I going to have in hand after I commit 2? Oh, I draw a card because of the Grizzly Totem. So, that's not in the discard yet. These are in the discard. These are not in the discard. Now Horror goes on to my Lab Assistant. What is the timing on that treachery that discards your hand? Do you draw after from Perception, Totem, etc.? It is after you discover or take control of 1 or more clues. So it depends on how you're getting the clues. When I did it, when I had to trigger one with Look What I Found earlier, and since Look What I Found is after you fail, it was during step 6. But if you're doing it from a deduction, that would be during step 4 in the order you, or sorry, during step 7 in the order you want to. So you could like get the clues, lose your hand, draw from Perception. So it wouldn't be the worst thing, but I don't have the upgraded Perceptions yet. So there's our card draw, Magnifying Glass. and then these get cleaned up from the test. And then I shortcut in. And then I commit, I'm testing this, digging through the snow in search of supplies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I definitely have enough in hand. 8 against 4 to dig through the supplies and try and find the wooden sledge. Yeah, it screwed me a little bit on the first one, but it screwed me really bad on this one. I had to do a really awkward turn. This hadn't been revealed yet, and I didn't have clues to get there, so Amanda had to walk the whole way around, get the clues here, and then walk in, so that Stella could walk over and get the clues from there. And it was just like, it was weird. It was a weird one. 8 against 4. That's successful, so I have recovered the wooden sledge. Okay. Essence of a Dream gets cleaned up. An Overpower is successful, so I draw an Unexpected Courage. Oh, a bit of a shame that I left Stella to complete this 4 intellect parlay. Shit. I didn't think about that. Should have done that before I came down. That should have been the very first thing I did. Bummer. Okay, well, I think I'm just going to trust her to not be able to do it at this point. I don't think there's any point in her trying that. Is there? She could burn an action, commit both of these to it, and be like 7 against 4. It's actually not that bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. No, she can do that. So we'll just resign with Amanda. So she's turning in for the night. Dropping a clue on her location, technically. But not really necessarily. I'm just going to like clean her stuff up to the side so it's not taking as much table space so I can actually fucking breathe. Stella, your shit is getting spread out, my friend, because I cannot stand such a messy board state. Holy moly. Alright. Stella's turn is going to be silly, I think. So first she's going to... What am I going to do? She does kind of just want to dirtle around a bit, doesn't she? Which sucks. I don't really want to dirtle around. But if I, like, fail a test, take an action, succeed the test, walk over with track shoes. That's what I want to do. So I want to fail a test. The problem is, if I fail, I do have a call by the Mist and Hypochondria, so I'll take 1 and 1 if I do that. But I do have, I'm only at 4 and 4. So, okay. I'm going to try the parlay. I'm going to commit the take heart to it. After I initiate it, I take a damage, and after I take a damage, I take a direct horror. So I take 1 and 1. And I'm testing 3 against 5 with a take heart committed. -3. So it is a failure. I draw 2 cards from Take Heart and gain 2 resources. I lose 2 resources from the Tekulili, so I just don't gain those resources, I suppose. So that's put away. At least I got that out of my deck, and I got a Mariner's Compass as well. So that's action 1, which is a failure. Where's my Rabbit's Foot as well? I also want to draw a card from Rabbit's Foot. Do I want to draw cards from Rabbit's Foot? Oh, that would have changed the order of things happening, and I'd have a resource. I know I'd have 2 resources because I would have drawn the Tekulili first, I think. Whatever. I failed to do it, so it's not a big deal. I'll take a resource. I will third action attempt the parlay again. So I'm at 3 against 3, and I'll commit Neither Rain Nor Snow and Madame Lebranche to be 7 against 3. -2. So we either remove a frost token from the chaos bag or record small radio. But we don't have any frost tokens left, so we'll record the small radio. And then we'll, last action, move to the Icy Wastes, triggering track shoes. Five against 2. -2 again, and then we move to the Remnants of Lake's Camp. We do Upkeep, which puts a Horror on us. And a Resource. The Horror comes after the shuffle. But it does happen. Oh, and I think technically an Elder Sign should have been in the bag, because Amanda is gone. And so her... Would a Treachery stay in play? Well, I'll have to look that up. I think enemies do. But I wonder if a Treachery does. One that's like attached to the agenda and not in her threat area. Right? Interesting. She draws a Neither Rain Nor Snow. Oh, that's perfect, actually. Oh yeah, getting a Neither Rain Nor Snow is exactly what I need there. So I get one more Doom, one more test, 0 visibility. Can't leave locations without a treachery or with a treachery attached to it without spending an extra action. So first action, she resigns. All right. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. With night coming to a close, the storm approaches faster and faster. Soon, the weather will be too deadly for your search to continue. If anyone is out there still, you doubt they'll survive, and neither will you if you remain unsheltered any longer. You return to your camp, your heart heavy with guilt, and your mind addled by that foul noise that festers within. R1. And 1 turn remaining on that one. That was a heck of a scenario. So I'm looking for R1. It's clear that something compelled your teammates to venture away from safety of your camp. Something alien and mysterious. Something that defies your understanding of Antarctica. None of those who wandered off remembered why they did so or what they were doing. It is almost as if their memories were wiped clean, or perhaps their consciousness was supplanted by another. In any event, they seem to have recovered. You mourn those you've lost and prepare for the day ahead. Rest or no rest, you only have one chance if you are to survive. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card on the victory display, which is 1. In the Expedition Team section of the campaign log, record the amount of damage and horror on each partner in play. Well, I didn't take any. Find each enemy in the victory display whose title matches a character who is not crossed off in the Expedition Team section of the campaign log. These characters have been rescued, crossed off MIA next to each of those characters' names. So Dr. Amy Kensler is no longer missing. Each missing team member who was not found surely could not have survived in the night. In the Expedition Team section of the campaign log, mark off the name of each character who is still marked MIA. So that did not happen. Proceed to checkpoint 2, the attack. Uh-oh. So we're going to read this one, and then we'll be wrapping it up. Just like we did yesterday. Checkpoint 2, the attack. The attack 1. You barely have time to rest before the sound of something erupting out of the ground nearby shakes you to your core. Massive tremors follow, sending cracks through the ice all around you. Then that noise, that insidious piping. Tekelili, tekelili. Whatever those creatures you encountered earlier were, you are sure they came from under the ice, breaking or seeping through to reach the surface. They must somehow live deep under the glacial crust of Antarctica. These quakes can only mean one thing. Your imagination stirs with visions of these monsters bursting forth all around you, creeping into your eyes and mouth, controlling you. It is clear you aren't safe here any longer. The investigators must decide. Choose one. Run for your lives. You will skip the next part of the scenario. Or stand and fight. You will play the next part of the scenario. Skip to attack 3 if you wish to do so immediately, or attack 4 if you wish to take a break, and proceed the next time you play. Well, I feel like it would be pretty cheap of me not to play the scenario. That being said, we don't have the greatest fight right now. We have like a knife and some meat cleavers. I could get an upgraded Vicious Blow on Amanda for the 1 XP I received from this scenario, the one I had left over. But we're definitely going to be standing and fighting. So attack 4, because we're going to be taking a break and proceeding. You've decided to fight off the attacking creatures. In the Ice and Death section of the campaign log, under Locations Revealed, record each location you have revealed. So I've revealed the Crystalline Cavern and the Rocky Crags and the Icebreaker Landing. So it's better for me to record the ones I don't have revealed, which is the Barrier Camp and this one, the Frigid Cave. Not revealed. Barrier Camp, Frigid Cave. Gonna go back and watch from the beginning. All right, awesome. It was a pretty good scenario. Did you already watch number one? I think you did. It was a pretty good scenario. That one beat with the Polar Mirages side by each was pretty rough, but that kind of thing happens. Clean up the game as normal. When you're ready to play again, begin at Ice and Death Part 3. So that's going to conclude the stream for today. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. Was really surprised at how much I knew that people. I got a lot of feedback of people being like, "Oh, geez, I can't watch. I got to wait until I get it." And I totally understand that. I get where people are coming from with that. But I was really surprised at how many people watched or how many views the Scenario 1 playthrough got. I didn't think that many people would be like me where they wouldn't be able to help themselves. But anyways, for those of you who are here because of that feeling, I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to record these. And this is the first campaign I'm doing live. I usually do it on TTS if you watch any of my other stuff. And I usually try to edit them really tightly. So I don't think live cards are going to be a regular thing. This is like this is ridiculous what I'm doing. Like literally, you're going to have a good laugh at this, right? Look at this. This is a step ladder. This is the top rung of a step ladder. There's my printer in the background with like my cell phone precariously like on with a clamp. Like it's just abysmal. It's just awful. So it's probably not going to be a regular thing. I'm probably going to stick with TTS. I like doing the editing on them. Having the videos being edited really tightly is a lot of fun to do, and they seem to get a lot of a good reception. I find them kind of stilting sometimes to watch back with a bunch of really quick cuts. But it's kind of inspired by a lot of YouTubers that I've watched. Trying to think of who in particular. If you're familiar with Civilization 6, what's the guy's name? Potato McWhiskey, I think. He does like single player playthroughs, and he just cuts it. If there's something not happening, if he's waiting for the stuff to load, he cuts that time out, and it cuts the time back to a much more watchable length. I know, like this is 2 hours and 17 minutes. It's a live stream. It's not as focused as a recorded video is going to be, but I do want to respect people's time if I'm going to be posting videos up. So I'll probably be sticking with TTS and that kind of tightly recorded editing for the most part. If I can figure out a way to edit it with live cards, I might do that. And I'm thinking that I might. The League has been on hiatus for a while, and we're doing like an achievement list version of the League. The next time we do the League, I'll probably stream that with real cards because this setup is. I'm super happy with the setup, and for the League in particular, you have to stream it. And I mess up rules constantly in TTS, and I'm sure I mess up rules here too. But it's rules of like weird things that I feel like I would never ever miss in real life, like shuffling my mulligan into my deck. So whenever the League starts back up for the scored ones, I'm gonna be streaming with the live cards from now on. So, anyways, I might be streaming the next scenario tomorrow. That'd be November 14th. It is really late here, and that's a work night the next day. So I'm not 100% sure I'm going to, but I'm going to try to. And then I'm actually going to stop there with the campaign. I'm probably going to play it off stream, but these are pretty time-consuming for me, and I really just wanted to give people an idea of what exactly the campaign kind of looks like, how it differs from previous campaigns, how they're using the box differently. I think that Part 1 and Part 2 of Ice and Blood has been Ice and Death has been really cool, the way that it's the same locations. It felt like a different scenario, right? It wasn't... It was a little samey, but it wasn't nuts. It's a big map, so it's not like... it's not like you're just in like one or two locations walking back and forth and pitter pattering around. It's a big map with a lot of connections, a lot of different ways to go. The encounter deck was a little different, right? And ultimately, everything was already revealed because of how well I did on the first one. So I didn't have to spend a bunch of clues doing the exploring as much. I only had to do that to actually go find the last couple of locations. Um, so, anyways, that's kind of my motivation again for why I'm streaming this one, is to give people idea of what they're getting themselves into when they do EOTE. The campaign box, I'm really impressed with it so far. Really hoping I have time to stream it again tomorrow night. And if I am, I hope to see you there. Anyways, ciao, and I'll see you next time.